if the anger is towards self, living by grace, not by works. This is actually very huge when you're talking about anger towards self. Now, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I get pretty irritated with myself. I'm like, I can't believe I did that. Then I talk to myself and say, well, why can't you believe that you did that? You are a sinner, And I say, I can't believe I did that because I've got certain standards of who I am, of who I should be. This is the ideal Fred, and this is the real Fred. And those two are pretty far apart. And so each time that I don't meet the ideal Fred, I have a tendency to get down on myself. And I don't think I'm alone with this. But this is what this is. The ideal you is a standard, is like a law. And each time that you don't meet the standard, you don't meet the law, then what happens is that you feel like a failure. That then you start getting down on yourself. It's like, man, I'm such a loser, or whatever that might be in your own mind, because you haven't met the standard. However, by God's grace, what does Paul say? By God's grace, I am what I am. I am who I am. And so in other words, I'm a sinner. I am the real thing. Not the ideal Paul, but I'm the real Paul. I'm not going to measure up to that standard. It's just not going to happen. But by God's grace, I am what I am. I'm a sinner. I'm saved by grace. So I can confess my sins to someone else. Because that's who I am. I'm just a sinner. I can live by grace, meaning I don't have to give myself a hard time. I don't have to continue to punish myself with guilt and self-inflicted wounds because Jesus Christ had taken the punishment for me. So I don't need to punish myself. It's almost as if, Jesus, your death on the cross was not enough for me. I have to punish myself too. And so we go back to that cross again, don't we? And so living by grace, not by works, means when we replace works, we look at standards, expectations of yourself, whatever that might be. We're never going to reach them. But we need to be in the real and saying, but this is who I am. I'm a sinner, saved by God. God sees me as righteous. He sees me as holy. And I need to accept how He sees me and accept the fact that I'm never going to be the ideal me, and that's okay. And when I die, then Christ's work will complete me, kind of thing. Clark, you have a question?
Well, I struggle with the same thing. And the reason I struggle with it is because I can control my actions. I can't control what somebody else does.
Right.
So it's like, forgive him, because that's what they are.
Yeah.
I know what I am.
Right.
I can control my thoughts, I can control my actions, and I choose to do this,
Right.
and I'm screwing up. Or I make a mistake, and you say, I know better than that. I know I should do it. It's just that you can control it, but you don't, and you get angry at yourself.
Right. Right. Exactly. I think that happens to all of us. It's part of that Christian walk, I think, too. It's like, yeah, I knew better, or, oh, I forgot this. I shouldn't forget such an important thing like my anniversary, or, whatever that might be. Okay, I haven't done that, just, I have forgotten my mom's birthday. That didn't work well. Hey, stop it. So here, this is going to transition me to the other statement, which is kind of piggybacking on Clark's, is that even with other people, of having expectations for those other people, and knowing that they're not going to meet the standards either. And so to give them grace as well. So take that all back. All of you. Right?
It's easier to give them grace than to give yourself grace. Don't ask me why.
It is.
But it is.
It is, because we're harder on ourselves.
Yeah.
Right, than we are on other people. Oftentimes. But it's all about grace and the transforming power of grace within us. So, if anger at self, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we talk about being depressed. But Jesus' death on the cross pays the penalty for sin and shame. So we don't have to feel guilty. We don't have to hold on to it. We don't have to hold on to our shame. We don't have to, because Jesus paid the penalty for it all. It's gone. It's not in God's eyes anymore. So if it's not in God's eyes anymore, guess what? Why should it be in ours?
Just as long as we repent. It's like-
Oh, repentance is very important. Knowing that our identity and worth is found in what Christ has done for us on the cross, what He says about us, not what we've done, not what other people have done to us or for us, or what other people say about me. Because oftentimes when anger is towards self, it's about maybe meeting other people's expectations. Not just us meeting our expectations, but maybe people-pleasing or letting other people down. And, what does so-and-so say about me and such? We don't have to be angry at ourselves for failing, even for failing other people. We do need to confess, repent when we know that we have. But we can't expect ourselves to be perfect and awesome in every way for everybody. It just can't happen. As long as we've got that sinful nature inside of us, the only thing that we can expect is the fact that we're going to fail. And honestly, that's kind of freeing, if you think about it. I failed. Well, yes I did. And that's okay, because I'm a sinner saved by grace. I'm favored by God. It's unmerited, which means I couldn't. It's unearned. Nothing I can do for earning it anyway. But we're saved by God's grace instead. So anger towards self is often there. Anger toward God, again, do you want to change? How's that working for you? Again, first needing His forgiveness from God. And the goal, of course, is to trust Him, His character, and love, even when things have not worked out as we think it should have. So oftentimes anger towards God occurs when God allows something to happen that we don't like. Maybe it's the death of someone. Maybe it's a spouse who has cheated. Maybe it's a job, a loss of a job, or something like that. And so in each one of those situations, again, the goal is to trust in Him and in His character. We're doing a study of Job in Sunday school about trust, and talk about things being taken away from Him. But trusting in God even when things haven't worked out according to what we thought.